Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my latest video here for you. Quite a bit shorter video, but a warning video of something that could happen. Probably won't, I'm going to say it that way, but could happen. Just in case it does, then you know how this stuff works with, predictive programming and Gematria and all this kind of stuff that I've been talking about for 3.5 years. So, and we'll see what happens here, okay? If you get a chance, sign up for Telegram right now as soon as you can. It goes through your phone, you get notifications, and you also get things I'm doing with predictive programming and Gematria updates I'm putting out, so you can see some of the things that are going on. Now, I might not be able to get another video out after this one. This one has been massively, even though it's been quite a bit shorter, it's been a massive pain in the butt with power pain, and I'll say a power pain in my butt, and then I'll say, with U-boob, it's almost been impossible. I can't even say, I'm not going to get into all that and just complain and everything like for half an hour, which I could. It's getting really bad. The crescendo of how bad it's gotten from the last 6 months, it's almost like they know this time is almost here, and they're just making it worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's just, I literally had a bug in my power pain in my butt. And it's just, it finally is cleared off. Long story super short. So, without further ado, let's just keep going here. Sign up for Telegram while you can, get notifications and detailed things I'm doing with Gematria and predictive programming for the group there, which is over 1,100 members right now. So do that while you can, because there might be no other communication with what I'm sharing with you. The next time frame I'm just going to say right now, and that'll be posted on Telegram pretty soon. It's going to start on 3/13, March 13th, go through March 27th. It's insane. It is the 4th and 5th day is Purim, and it's the zombie day, and it's all that kind of stuff. Literally, Purim has a zombie walk during that time, and over 90% of people have the hokey pokey in Israel. It's going to be insane. This is totally lining up like I've never seen it before. Just giving you a little bit of preview, but this is going to be way wow. And then I may kick this off with this, and then the first day, the things I've said about the first day, it will start happening as well, like with the Queensels and the Trumple and all that stuff. So anyway, without further ado, let's go on this video here, what I'm trying to warn about this one, in case it might possibly happen and maybe not. Okay, so again, this is my Exalted Lamb page or channel or whatever, I guess, my public channel here. And I want to reiterate, I have no part with the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead I'm exposing them, Ephesians 5:11. So all you ultra-religious, out-of-touch people that don't understand what I'm doing, and you're just so religious that it just hurts me probably more than it hurts you, because it's very difficult to listen to you people. I mean, it really is. You need to have the heart of Christ and understand people instead of slamming people with things you don't understand. This is called biblical numerology. God is the God of numbers. If you didn't know that, you need to get slapped with the truth. So hopefully you'll watch my videos and get slapped with the truth, and then you understand that, okay? So I'm exposing what they're doing. So I'm trying to take by what they're doing, showing you what they're doing in movie, TVs, predictive programming of all kinds of media, and show you what they're doing. And hopefully, by their predictive programming and predicting things in the future, I can say, hey, this is what they're planning, okay? It's as simple as that. If people it just goes right over their head. They just don't understand it, or they're just, they don't want to understand it. That's usually what it is. So that's very clear. So I just want to throw this out here to re-emphasize what I'm all about. I'm about exposing the darkness, and there's all kinds of scripture about that. And this is just one of my favorites. So that's why I have my description on my Telegram. So here we go. This guy, exposing this guy. Okay, I'm gonna call him the Zelen-skyyy. He's the Zelen-skyyy, okay? And I'm going to show you what that means pretty soon here as well. And he's got the devil horns. He's got the 666. He's a complete pawn of this whole thing. In fact, they've made him to be some kind of superhero. And some kind of Arnold, send me ammunition, not a ride. Anyway, it's just crazy, man. It's like a movie script. I'm so tired of this kind of stuff that they're doing. People are buying it like a bunch of fish on a hook. It's really horrible. Okay, so here anyway, what I'm going to be talking about is his possible demise, completely planned, which he is part of, for March 6th and reported on March 7th. Now, it's possible it could happen today, which is March 5th, and then reported on March 6th, but I'm just going to, so I'm throwing that out there as a possibility because there's some numbers for that as well, but it's more for 6th and 7th. For example, you see here March 6th is the 60, wow, the March 6th is the 65th day of the year with 300 days left over, and then March 7th is the 66th, so 65th, 300 days left over in the 6th, and 66th day of the year on the 7th. If I can even talk right now. Let me try to be more enunciating and more clear. Okay, so that is what we're looking at, and I'm just going to show you the evidence in here, okay? Now, check this out. Okay, he was in Dancing with the Stars and won, apparently. I mean, that talk about massive predictive programming, and then this guy eventually becomes, the president, el presidente, and seriously, look at the clothing here, and I'm gonna show you why football, and that's what they call, in Europe they call it football, I call it soccer ball. I'm gonna show you both, and then she's wearing like this beehive thing. That's all here. I'm not going to get into that either, but I'm going to get into these two here real quick. So football is 165. So again, his demise is on the 65th day, or 1 plus 65 is 66. That's how they do this. It's either 1 times 65 or 1 plus 65. So you have 65 and 66 right here. And then soccer ball, for example, is 36. And the day I'm saying he's going to be eliminated somehow, possibly is March 6th. Okay, so get used to that. March 6th, 36. Okay, and it shows right here. And it's also all over in this Dancing with the Stars thing. So people call this DWTS, I guess. I mean, I don't watch it. That's the 66th day of the year. Again, that's March 7th, the 66th day of the year. And then here we go again. Bam. You just get rid of anything you had 9, 2 stays the same. So just get rid of the 9 and you have 36 again. Or 36, March 6th. Okay, we can just keep going. It just goes and goes. In fact, I have so much more numbers and things but I don't want to super bore you with so much more gematria, but I want to make certain points with it, okay? So in the letters, 19 letters and 4 words in Dancing with the Stars, you take that, the 1 9, and you add 1 to the 4, and that's 5 9. If, for example, if the 4 was on the other side of the 19, you do 4 plus 1 is 9, 5, and then 9. That's how it would work. So that's how this kind of works, and I'm just doing it ahead of time for you. But that's 59. 59th day of the year is March 6th. And so then in this Dancing with the Stars, 291, 2 plus 9 plus 1 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So this is the first part of the 3-6. So I'm showing you how the 59th day is 3-6 or March 6th. And then this in reverse ordinal is the 3. And then in English, in normal ordinal, it is 6. So we have 3 right here, 3, 6. See, in reverse, so these two completely relate to each other because one's just the reverse of the other one. And this is 3, and this is 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 6. So another way of doing 3, 6, and then we have these end up being 5, 9. Again, secretly, but if you put the 4 over here and then you put 4 plus 1 is 9, 5, and then a 9, 5, 9 day, 59th day of the year is 3, 6. Yeah. See how this works? Hopefully you see that. And then this one is 222, and it just happened to be 222/223, depending on where you were in the time zones and everything. Was the actual invasion of Ukraine by Russia. So that's seriously, yeah. And then his full name, Zelen-skyyy. Okay, Zelen-skyyy. His full name. This, wow, what a name! Look at that. Oh my good. Okay. Oh, okay. 463 is backwards to 364, and what is that? It is 3 is March, and then we have 6, and then 4 is 2 and 2 plus 2, or 2 and 2. So we have March 6, 22. And you can say, hey, yeah, that's just all. This is all coincidence upon massive coincidence upon massive coincidence. Okay, then just go ahead and just keep crunching on those grains of sand in your mouth because your head's stuck in the sand for so long. So don't do that to yourself. Listen to the truth. Pull your head out and listen, because if your head's in the sand, you can't hear, and you got this kind of a grinding, and that, I wouldn't like that taste either, really. Too grainy, too salty, sandy, whatever. Ugh. Okay, so then here is his birth information about him, blah, 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 right over here. And then look at this. His birth is at least considered January the 11th month. So you take 11, which is January, and 25th. 11 plus 25 is 36. Again, 36. His year is 1978. Get rid of the 9, okay? Anything you add 9 to is the same. For example, 1 plus 9 is 10. Take away the 0, you go back to 1. Okay, so that's 1, and then 7 plus 8 is 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. So this, 1978, is 1/6. What's 1/6? To the elite, March is the first month, and that's the 6th day. So we have 3/6 being March 6th on the Gregorian, and 1/6 being March 6th on the Roman. And then he just happens to be 44 years old. So this is a symbolic thing of his death, what's going to happen here in another roughly 14 days, the actual demise and then rebirth of Stinky BO, the 44th Prez. That's why he's 44. And then regarding his wife here, his wife is Olena, okay? And I guess the female version of Zelen and then Skyyy is Zelen and then Ska. Okay, weird. Okay, and then so this is her. And then look at this. Her birthday is February 6th. Again, here we got a 6 and a 6. And then February is the 12th month to the elites. Remember, we're talking about Roman calendar here. We're talking about Roman calendar. I've been talking about Roman calendar. January is 11th. And then the next month is February, so that's 12. And February being 12 is 1 plus 2 is 3. So we have 3/6. Okay, again, 3/6. 3/6, February or March 6th. And then again, same year as he was born the same year as she was. So again, that's 1/6 again. So we're doubling up on some of these things for 1/6. There's just so much stuff going on here. And I could keep going a lot more, but I'm not going to. Go to the next thing. And then here's her full name in reverse ordinal. And first of all, again, it's we have 2, 6, and then 3. So what is that? That's 62 plus 3. Because that's backwards. 62 plus 3 is 65. The 65th day is that first day he's going to be eliminated. And then the next day, the reporting day, we call it, typically there's a day that someone dies, and then there's a reporting day the next day to the media. They do these 2-day things all the time. So my first day of my timeline usually has the day before where there's a happening day as well. And then there's a reporting day on the first day, or any of the 2-day attack days I have and all that. Usually there's a day it happens, there's a reporting day the next day. And we also run on a 24-hour cycle in the world. So one part of the world is on one day and the other part of the world is on another day. So we always have this 2-day thing. That's what they do. So we literally have the 65th day of the year is 3/6, and the 66th day of the year is 3/7. So again, right in here is 3, and then this is actually just moved here. So you could do that one time, and typically in one of these in these numbers, move this, change the 6 with a 7. So you have 3, 7, 6, 3, 7. So March 7th, and then 6 is made up as 2 plus 2 plus 2. There you go. That's how it works. I mean, they got to hide it somehow. They're not just going to spell it out for you, and then they can't get away with all their stuff. Okay, that's how it works. They got to hide it in different ways, each thing, and I'm just exposing how they do this and what their plans are. Their plans are to get rid of him if this is right, okay? And it looks like it's right because they've set the stage up so much. The stage, the stage of war, or what do you call it? The theater of war, they call it. Or, you've heard all the world is a stage. They're setting this up for him to be the big good guy that's against the world, and the evil Putin, he's against the Putin, and he's evil. He's evil. I've worked for him, but who cares? He's evil. And he's my master, so who cares? He's evil. He's evil. But that's Putin, he's like that. He's a cool guy, who cares? So, Putin is now the mega evil guy now. Everybody's with Ukraine, all this kind of stuff, right? Because they have to set this up. So then there's a big fall. That's how this works. Okay. This is always how it works. And so, he's got to go is probably what this script's going to do. So, and I mean, Zelen and Skyyy, this dude I'm talking about. So he's got to go. And then again, he sets himself at, again, one man against the world, like Arnold, send me ammunition. Okay. I mean, seriously. And then look, he's an actor. See, look, just like Arnold, who became, the governor of California. Can't even say California. We need more water. Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's crazy. So, look, movies, TV shows, This guy is, and he's a comedian. Okay, he's known as a comedian as well. So this guy here, as you can see, Ukrainian actor, candidate, is upcoming. This was when he was a candidate. Hosts a comedy show at a concert hall in Kiev on February, whatever. Yeah, it was February, a few years ago. Oh, what a coincidence, and all that stuff, because that was when the invasion started right in there. Okay, and then he's just pulling out some devil horns. He doesn't believe in any of that stuff. No. And he's not in the system. Doesn't have all the gematria, all the numbers, all the symbols, for no reason. Okay, now check this out. Are you ready for this? I wasn't ready for this. I had to delete it. So just keep this in mind. No, so this was something kind of like a Saturday Night Live or something. He's doing a skit with these other guys being a comedian. Okay, here we go. This is actually him right there. Look. That's him. Okay, that's quite enough. That's way more than I wanted to show. That's him. That's Zelen-skyyy, dude. That's absolutely him. That's just, this is known or whatever. I'm sorry. I apologize ahead of time. That was just, that was bad. So but I had to show you what they do, and that is Stinky BO. Okay, so he is 44 years old. Stinky BO is a Baphomet. He's male and female. He's in a sense cross-dressing, and so that's what this guy's doing. He's dancing, cross-dressing, and all that stuff. And in this leather black outfit he has, it was really going to tie in to something that I'm going to show you here soon, but with the comedian, because he's a comedian. So, and the predictive program with all that. Not to mention, if you look up here, it says 9-5, right up here, 9-5. That's the first destruction symbols of 9 and 5. There's so much going on here. I can't get into all of it right now, but so I'm going to go to the next thing. Oops. Okay. Now this is a unique thing. Okay. My wife is going to, she did a little video. She had a dream about a year ago, and it's very apropos to this time frame right now and what I'm talking about. And so I invited her to come on my channel or do a little video and be on my channel. And in the past, she hasn't done that. She wanted to kind of keep this anonymity. And so I'm just calling her my wife also. So, and she hasn't wanted to do that. And it just hasn't been, anyway, we had certain agreements when I first started doing these videos, but this is really big. So she feels led by the Lord to share this with what I'm talking about, what I was telling her about. And then she just remembered her dream when she saw something. I'll let her say what she's going to say on this, and then I'm going to talk a little bit after that. So here we go. Here's my wife. Okay. Again, I'm just going to say this. She's my wife. Okay. Just say it that way. I'm not saying her name or anything, because she'd just rather me not say anything else. So she's just much like that, which I would completely respect. So here we go. Oh.
My second Putin dream that I had in early May 2021.
Oops, sorry. I thought I'd turn this up. I turn this up here. Hope you can hear it.
My second Putin dream that I had in early May 2021. And basically, in dreams, I'm like, this is a camera angle where I'm just going up this brick building, and it enters this window. And then so you go through this window. It just kind of goes through this window, and then it's an office, and there's Putin at a desk. His desk he's facing the window, and he wasn't wearing, he was bare chested, as he's kind of known to be doing sometimes, is not having a shirt on. So imagine he doesn't have a shirt on. He's intense. And he takes a swig. I don't know if it's a glass, or I think it might be a bottle of some kind of liquor. And he's just has this intensity on his face, like he's ready to do some serious stuff. So he takes this gun and he aims it at his head. And I'm going past his head. I know, it's very professional. Anyway, so I go past his head, and behind him is this guy sitting on this couch, and I don't know if it's like he's like a witness or just to make sure he does what he needs to do, like kill himself or whatever. So, and then so I hear the gunshot go as it was going past his head. As I was going past his head, I hear the gunshot going, and then I see this guy kind of flinch. He's like, whoa, oh my gosh, he actually did what he had to do. And that's how I took this dream. Anyway, so time has gone by. This has been like almost a year. And then I come across this picture in the news. My jaw dropped. I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is the guy that was on that couch. I was tripping out with this. So this was the angle that kind of clicked for me more. Like he was on the couch, and I saw him at this angle. So I woke up from that dream with my heart beating like crazy because it was such an intense dream, such an intense scene. This dude, I had to piece it together. I couldn't find like a scene like this, so I had to kind of find photos everywhere. And what was also interesting was, I guess days after or a week after this dream, I saw GOG on license plates, which was kind of crazy. So I guess there's some kind of connection with that. That's kind of what I got from that. So the fact is, what's going on with Russia and Ukraine really perked my ears up, and I felt like I really needed to get this out.
Okay, thanks to my wife. Call you my wife. And I just want to say about this. So I'm putting it. We're both putting it out there just in case we don't know how it's going to play out. As far as if it does play out, we're just guessing here. But it's something. It means something with those two together. But I'm saying what I'm saying might be the case is that when she had the dream, so Putin takes a drink and then he puts his hand up to his head, or the gun up to his head, and then the camera, in a sense, or if her view goes right past it and goes to this guy's face or him, and then you hear the gunshot. So you would assume, or she assumed, and I assume, of course, that he killed himself, right? And so you're wondering, like, why would he do that, or what's going on? Especially when she had dreams later. Dreams earlier, a couple years earlier, about what would happen later after this, possibly, is that Putin was invading the United States. And then he would, that's another story, but I'm going to get into that right now. But I already know that Russia will be invading the United States and China and things like that. But then she confirmed that with some dreams and things, including Putin invading and Russia invading the United States. And that's another dream I won't get into right now, but that's another crazy intense dream that she had. So, and she's not one to think about any of this stuff. And she had no idea about the invasion and all that stuff. And I was looking into that stuff, and I was getting information from the Lord about that kind of stuff. And she doesn't, she doesn't know about the stuff. She barely knew who Putin was and everything when she started getting these dreams and everything. So, and, she doesn't know about a lot of the stuff. It's just not in her wheelhouse, just not. So the fact that she's having it, it just shows even more that there's something going on here with God. And that's a good indication sometimes when people aren't really into certain things and then it shows up like that. It's like, wow, there's definitely God's doing something. When someone's really into something and then it shows up like that, then it's not as an indicator in different ways. So, I just want to say, well, I think what might have happened here is that we have both assumed that he shot himself, but he really turned the gun on Zelen-skyyy. I'm going to say it that way, the guy. And then his surprise was that he was expecting just him to be wielding a gun or something. He wasn't expecting him and to turn it on him and shoot him. That's what his surprise look was. How many times you've seen movies where someone got a surprise look on themselves because they just got shot, and then you don't see the shot, but because of the surprise that they got shot. So that might be it, or it also could be maybe Putin's got some deal with with Stinky Bo, the Antichrist extraordinaire, that he's got to eliminate himself and he's going to be resurrected or something, and then there's going to be a clone taken over or something. I don't know. Who knows? It'd just be interesting to see how this plays out. If we hear something about this, and if somehow they say that Putin showed up there with Zelen-skyyy dude or whatever, I don't know. We're just throwing this out there. We're seeing. All we can do is speculate right now what could happen, and I'm just saying also this probably won't happen, but just in case it does, and what something happens to Zelen-skyyy, then we'll see. Okay, so that's how it goes. So I'm moving on from that. And then she doesn't even know. I just sent her this, and I texted to her to show her. She had no idea. Her mouth dropped. She was stunned. I mean, look there's the desk. This is a skit in Saturday Night Live. I mean, what are the chances of that? I mean, there's just something going on there with the Lord showing her this and everything. And I think this was a skit a few times, this idea of the bare-chested Putin and stuff. And the media has used this before. I mean, for example, like this. This one's crazy because he's got him riding on a horse. I've even seen Putin riding which he was riding a horse, but he's riding a bear instead, and they just Photoshop that in. But there's a Photoshop of trouble because they're supposedly buds, right, or whatever. I mean, seriously, it's crazy. But anyway, so yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, and she literally saw that, and she saw it like it was happening. Like she was an observer and it was really happening, but it also came across kind of like a movie, and the camera angles and everything, and her being the camera that kind of zoomed past him, and then you could just hear it. So in a sense, and the reason why that would kind of be shown, maybe because you don't see it, so you imply it, and that would also indicate that possibly it wasn't what you thought it was. It wasn't him really shooting because you didn't see him do it. Then it could have been for Zelen-skyyy, dude. So that's what I'm saying that way. So anyway, this is crazy stuff. So I got more stuff here. So now this also, again, there's a lot of things I've shared for several years about how these things are played out in movies. Okay, so my brother Constantine and I have really bounced back and forth on some things. Synergistically, it's been amazing with this subject with Zelen-skyyy, dude, from Ukraine, and how he's going to die, we think. And I started off with that idea, and then we kind of went back and forth, and then he's like, well, the Watchmen's got some really crazy stuff about the comedian, and this guy is a comedian, and we were looking back and forth, and he was telling me some stuff about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I dove into this thing even more, and I could not believe what I found. I mean, literally, after the first scene in the movie is the comedian dies. This guy, the character is the comedian, this guy right here, he dies, okay? Right off the bat. So it kicks off this war, in a sense, or the story about this war between Russia and the United States. And it's set in 1985 in a kind of, a different universe or whatever, different parallel universe, 1985 or something like that, right? And, we got Russia as the antagonist. They've invaded, they've invaded Afghanistan in this situation, kind of like history, but they're invading Afghanistan instead of Ukraine, but they're invading. There's a threat of war, nukes, just like in what's going on right now. He's threatened that. Putin has threatened all those kinds of things that fly in the sky, and that kind of stuff, So, and it's just, the parallels are just crazy. So let me get right into that, okay? So this guy, again, he's the comedian. This is this actor here. I'll get into it in a second. But you see that black leather and stuff, and he kind of looks like a gay biker. Just like, it's just is weird, man. It's just bizarre. And he's got the USA things on his shoulders, but he reminds me of a couple scenes from a couple of funky movies. Anyway, and then so here's the character, Edward Blake, who's the comedian. And then look at right here. First appearance was in September 1986. And September is 9, of course. And then 1986 is you get rid of the 9, and then 1 + 8 is 9. Get rid of that. You have a 6 of it over, so that's 9, 6. Now, one of the ways that they do time or they do months and things to hide it is like it's on a clock. So on this side of the clock is 9/6, and then on the reverse side, of the opposite side, or the upside down, or the reverse, or whatever, is 3/6 over here. So they're saying 9/6, or they're saying July 4th, and they really mean the opposite of the on the other side, or they're saying whatever. So in this situation, 9/6 is 3/6. Hopefully that makes sense, because it does to me. Okay, and that's just one method that they use, and I've talked about it a little bit in the past videos. And then this guy who's actually playing this character, Edward Blake, the comedian, is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Okay, and his name. His name actually is Gematria for that as well, but I'm not going to get into every little aspect. But look at his birth. They love to do this with the birth of actors in their movies and how they play on that. So right here is to the elites. April's the second month, March is the first, April's the second month. So you got 2, and then 22 is 6. And then 19, you can just get rid of the 1 and the 9. And yeah, 19 is the same. 1 can just be a multiplier. So multiply that times 6, 6, and you get 6, 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. So then this is 3, and this is 6. 3, 6. I mean, it's right there. Believe it or not. Even deeper than that, this character's name right here, Edward Blake, is not his full name. And you see that in the movie. When he dies, his full name is Edward Morgan Blake. Who's an Edward Morgan? Look at it. Then this guy's name is Morgan. Last name is Morgan. And this guy that's missing Morgan right here, but it is Morgan. See that weird connection with Morgan? I'm going to show you what Morgan means as well. Morgan also means death hand or something like that. It's like death hand. Morgue is, or morgue is like death, or morgue, like a morgue, for example. And is comes from hand. An or hand is hand. When I got in really deep etymology with it, and I know some of this etymology and how it works, but morgue that's death hand. So the hand of death, in a sense, is what it's saying. Okay, now even more than that. Now let's look at even Morgan than that. Is the full name of this character, the comedian, is Edward Morgan Blake. And then look, we have, what do we have here? We have 5 plus 1 is 6, and then 3 plus 2 is 5. So that's 65. And that's the 65th day of the year, which is what? March 6th. March 6th. March 6th. Do you get this? Hopefully you're following this. This is not a stretch by any means. This is logical conclusions and adding things up just in all kinds of ways. It's just crazy. It's out there. And then, okay, Morgan. So let's look at Morgan. Morgan, because it's, first letter is a capital letter or uppercase, then you can use Francis Bacon or Frank Baconis. And then Morgan is 135. First of all, it's one word with 6 letters, and then that March is the first month to the elites on the Roman calendar, and then the 6th day is March 6th, okay? And then right here we have, then also first and last letter code in normal English gematria. M is 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, N is 14, 1 plus 4 is 5. So we have 45. Now what happens the next day that's reported? What I've said for, 3.5 years is the next day of the reported death of Stinky BO on the 7th day. The next day is the 8th day, which is, I'm sorry, the first day he dies on the 7th day. The 8th day is reported. So that's the one that the day is reported is the same day that Trump dies, and that's why 45. He's the 45th Prez. And you see those together all the time. I'm just giving you an example right here. So we have 45, and then we have 135 is 45. 4, 5. See that? But we also have 1/6, the first day, and then the next day is about 45 because it's about the demise of Trump. But it's also the second day of Stinky BO, the reporting day of him. Hopefully that makes sense. It's really crazy how this all works together. And there's so many layers here. There's so many things. Now back to this. Now again, we're talking about March 6th, right? The demise of Zelen-skyyy being some kind of comedian, and he's going to kick the bucket, right? Just like the very first scene, basically, in the movie, this guy is killed, basically murdered by somebody else, like could happen to with Putin and Zelen-skyyy, Zelen-skyyy, the Zelen guy, who knows? Right there, and then look, release date of the Watchmen is March 6th. That's a coincidence? I don't think so. Not even close. And I'll get into this too, but that's also 119 or 911, 1 and 1 backwards. Say it that way. I don't want to say the full name. There's so much in this. I'm not going to kid everything. So again, this is the scene in the very beginning. He's chilling out watching TV. He's older, you know, and all this stuff. And then here comes this guy to take him out. Okay. And again, you know, it's kind of like maybe in a sense, Putin could show up and, you know, who knows? And then here the first thing he says out of his mouth is just a matter of time, I suppose. And then that is 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 6, March 6th. And that's also 216th day of the year is Stinky BO's birthday. The 216th day of the year is August 4th. And 216 is 6 times 6 times 6, or 3 sixes. Another reason why it'd be a symbol for his death, and someone would do this before he does later. Maybe it's going to be about 14 days later that it'll actually happen to him, Stinky BO. But he's the symbol before that. And we have the Russians doing something else, and then they're going to eventually, in reverse, forwardly, they're invading first, and then doing all this stuff to Ukraine. And then when they get to, when the United States is involved, then they're going to invade last when everything's destroyed and all that stuff. So it's kind of a reverse or mirror thing. Hopefully yeah, I'm not getting into all that right now. More in my next video if I even get that thing out. So then look, and also, again, same phrase, just a matter of time, I suppose. Again, this is 6 times English ordinal. This is English ordinal. And then look, we have 336 or 66. So we have 36, which is March 6th, and then we have the 66th day of the year, which is 37. So again, death day, reported day, death day, reported day. They do this all the time to show both. Okay? And then look, when he says this, it is exactly 3 minutes and 6 seconds into the movie. I mean, that's not a coincidence. Hello. So I'm just showing you massive coincidence on top of massive coincidence on top of massive. No. And I'm sorry, if you believe that kind of stuff, then again, head out. Sand out of mouth and everything else. Okay, here we go. Then he throws. So this guy shows up. He has a glass full of probably liquor, and he throws it, and the guy dodges, and it hits his door. And his door says 300, and this is the 1 right here that's on the wall. It's 3001 or 3001. Okay, but as soon as he hits that 1, it's 300. Okay, because the 65th day of the year, the day I'm saying this might happen, the 65th day of the year, March 6th, has 300 days left over. Okay, and then there's a shatter. There's something that happens, you know, on that day with 300 days left over. It's crazy. So again, you got action, you got shattering, you got breaking, but it's also 3001. So what is 3000? So room, that's what the room originally was. Room 3001 is what? We have 1 and then 6, 3 plus 2 is 5. So you have 1, 6, 5. So you have 65th day of the year. And then, so 1 times 65 is 65. And then 1 plus 65 is 66. So again, we have the 65th day of the year and the 66th day of the year, which is March 6th and March 7th. The actual death day and then the reported death day. I'll keep saying that over and over and over until people get it. No, anyway. And then we also have, look at this, room and 3 are, look how these are 6s as well. 3 is 6, 6. I mean, 3, 6, 3, 2 6s. I mean, there's just so much in this. All this is crazy. And then, so that would be assuming it's on because he gets thrown out of the window. He gets thrown out of the 30th floor. And that is because, remember, he's a comedian and he is 44 because Zelen-skyyy is 44. Okay. And then he literally dies 2nd month, 7 days. So if you start from when the 2nd month really started, and then there's a mirror of that. I'm going to explain in my next video. It's crazy. It literally started on February 28th, and it's going to repeat itself in the Julian calendar. It's really insane. And I've got so much evidence right now. It's just off the charts now. And I finally figured out how this thing works with the Julian. So it's 2nd month. So it started on the 28th, and then 7 days from there is the 6th. Okay. And so that is 2nd month, 7th day, and that's that, or 2 7s, and then 7 days after that, when he comes back to life, so that's 777. That's the top of the pyramid. Anyway, so that's 44. And then, when he smashes that 1 off there, then is again 300 days left over, and 300 is 59. What's 59? The first day which again, like I said, February 28th is the 59th day of the year. That's really the first day. And it's going to be repeated again on the 13th of March as February 28th on the Julian calendar. It's really crazy. I know it's kind of confusing for people. That's why I'm going to have to do a video if I can. I'm going to try to. But upside down and backwards, 5-9 upside down and backwards is 65. So the 65th day of the year is March 6th with 300 days left over. Imagine that. That's just a big coincidence. Here's another big coincidence. We have 300 and the movie 300, which stars Gerard Butler as Leonidas, the Lion King. And I've said Trumple is the Lion King. He's going to die. He's the Lion King. And he throws the spear of destiny at Xerxes while he's dying. And he throws the spear, or he's the tip of the spear. He throws it at Xerxes, who looks like Obama, and in the movie. And he's the God King. And he gets a head wound because it slices his cheek. And he's still alive. So he gets a head wound, but he's still alive. But Leonidas, the Lion King, the Trumple figure, is dead. He's the Lion King, Leonidas King, the Lion King. I mean, are you kidding me? You can't make this up. And there's the 300 right there because he dies on this day, the 65th day of the year. And again, that's what's going to happen to Zelen and then Skyyy as another example just like this, of this. And that's just a coincidence? I don't think so. We've got two characters, one that in a sense almost, he has a head wound, but he doesn't die technically. And then this guy actually dies from his, Xerxes' armies in the movie, if you know the movie at all. I mean, it's just so crazy how this stuff there's so many more connections here I could get into. I'm just not going to do right now. Go to the next thing. And then when he's fighting this guy, whoever this guy is, I'm not going to ruin it by the way, this movie I hate this movie. It's not a superhero movie to me. It's a Zack Snyder vehicle. I think he did way better with the redone Justice League. There's a Justice League that came out, which had this funky Superman lip. The funky Superman lip was when the guy that plays Superman was in another movie. He was in Mission Impossible, and he had to wear a mustache. And then they used CGI to remove the mustache. And it was horrible. It looked horrible. He looked like the Joker at times. His lip looked terrible, and other things. And it was just a lot of messed up things in the normal original one. But then Zack Snyder did one that was longer and way better. And the villain was horribly CGI'd in that, and he did a new villain. But it's way better. But Zack Snyder, man, that dude just, wow, he's a trip. He really made this super dark, this movie. I don't like this movie at all, really. It's super dark. It's not what I consider a superhero movie. Some people love it. It's very like a cult classic kind of movie for a lot of superhero fans and all that stuff. And those really hard edge comic books and everything. When I grew up, I kind of stayed away from those because I could have looked at them. So I just thought they were over the top. And I like good superheroes that fought bad and not bad superheroes that fought even a little bit better. Anyway, that's just my thing. I like really good superheroes that were good. Most of these are just horrible people. Anyway, he's fighting and it's a full moon. That's not a coincidence. So again, here you go. Full moon. It's 36. March 6th. I mean, this is all set up for Gematria. All this stuff is. Most movies are, okay? Pretty much all things. And then so he gets his butt kicked, and then he's just bleeding and everything. He's realizing he's done. And then what he says here, he says, well, first of all, you see this happy face button, which is 6-5. Again, the 65th day of the year is 3-6. Okay, back to here. Okay, and then he's wearing a green bathrobe, and that's 66. So we have 65 and 66. The 2 days I'm talking about. Again and again and again. It just keeps coming up. And then he says, it's a joke. And then he said, no, really, this is a joke or whatever. And then he says, you mother forgive me or something like that. That's all Gematria. I'm just hitting these things. But he says a few times in the movie, it's a joke. Because he's the comedian, right? So you got to say it's a joke. But that's the reason why he says it, because it's 3-6 again. And then the comedian is 44 because he's really a stinky BO because he's getting killed. And then he's also Zelen-skyyy, which is who is 44 right now. And then he gets thrown slow motion out the window with a full moon. Do you think that's all Gematria? Of course it is. Are you ready? So thrown out a window in slow motion is, look, 335 or 6-5, the 65th day, which is March 6th. See, this stuff just keeps happening. And again, you think this is coincidence? Wow, check yourself. You need to really check yourself because it's going to play out at some point. And then here, look, thrown out a window in slow motion during a full moon is 3-6, 3-6. Again, this is also Obama's birthday. Okay, 216, and it's 666. And we have 3 6s, 666, 3 6s, 666, 3 6, 1 2 3 6, March 6, or 3 6s, 666, 3 6s, 666, 3 6s. I mean, this all is. I mean, seriously, wow. And then watch this. Boom. What's this pointing to? And if you watch it all, you'll see this in the background the whole time. And that's the Chrysler building. And look at this. This whole thing is 1116. And there it is again, 1116 or 36. Or this is also 111 times 6 is 666. Or it's 36, which is 3 6s, which is 666. It's many ways, okay? And that's in the background on purpose. You got a full moon and that because they're both 3 6 or 3 6s. I mean, look at that. Boom, boom. Seriously. Okay, there's a couple little snippets I just want to throw from the movie, but there's so many more. This one's crazy. Here, this is a scene with the yellow cab. By the way, yellow cab's got all the numbers. And then look at this. 2022 with a Q in the middle. And what's Q? 17, or March being the first month to the elites, and 7th day, which is March 7th, which is the reporting day. Okay, remember I said the 7th day, 6th day is the actual day, probably, more likely, or it's the 5th and 6th, but it should be the 6th and 7th, like I'm saying. And Q is 17, and Stinky BO is Q because Barack Obama is BO, and that's 2 and 15 is 17, and the whole time he's been Q. Believe it or not. Okay, so then but that's sandwiched right in the middle of the year, the exact year that's going to happen, 2022, and that's a coincidence. And this happened. This was released out in 2009, and this happened to have this, and this is for this time. I don't think so. Wrong answer. And again, that's March 7th. Q is 17. Okay, and then in the movie, like what's going to happen, I've said in Manhattanzels, Trumpel is going to get falsels flagsels, where he's in probably Trumpsels Towersels, and a massive bomb goes off in Manhattanzels. Okay, and that's shown in this movie. There it is. Boom, went off. But and that again, predictive program of that. So, but it kicks off with probably in a sense the demise of Zelen-skyyy, and that's going to just really embolden the world to do more with Putin. And then he's going to fight back like a caged animal. Because that's what he does. He's a caged animal anyway, but we're putting him in the corner, and there you go. There you go. That's what's going to happen. I tell you. Look out. And then look at, like I said, just like a movie, Zelen-skyyy rejects U.S. evacuation offer. I need ammunition, not that I mean, seriously, it's totally, the fight is here. He's so brave. Oh, please. I mean, I see right through that. Like, woo. Okay, and then look, what's in quotes right here. See, anything in quotes is absolutely Gematria, like the most thing they want you to, they want to hide from you. Not a ride is, bam. It's not only 6-5 backwards, and you can just move the one anytime, or just leave it 6-5 and 6. 5 plus 1 is 6, so 6-5 and 6-6. Again, both days. I mean, I could just show you this over and over and over. And then this guy literally played the voice of Paddington Bear. And it's the Ukrainian version of it, but he literally was the voice of that. And Russia's the bear. And this happened before this happened. Predictive program that the bear is coming. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously, do you believe this? Oh, yeah, peace. I mean, seriously, this guy is a pawn for them. And if I'm not showing it, then if you don't see it, I should say I am showing it. But if you don't see it, wow, you need to, wow. Okay, so bear is, again, 6-5 plus 1 is 6-6, okay? And then Paddington is 6, 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 again, 6-5, 6-6, blah, 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 the day of the year. Crazy. But look at the symbol of this. I mean, seriously, he's playing a bear. Russia is the bear. Man, are you kidding me? And then look at their flag, okay? I've shared some things about this. Now, I want to make this super clear. So, blue, this is a signal to the world and to the elites that it's time. It's a go time. because blue and yellow is green. It's go for the war. It's go for world conquest. It's go. It's a go. Okay, and look at this. Zelen-skyyy means green. Hello. Hello, McFly. Hello. I mean, seriously. What? So I'm making my point with what the Lord's showing me. Hopefully you get it. Hey, listen, I want to make this clear. Jesus does all this for me. I'm willing to do what he shows me and go through all this crud with people who give me a hard time. And I mean, I got a lot of support, thankfully. Thank you. Thank all of you so much. But, I've had thousands and thousands of people being the biggest things they can be in the history of the world. And it's not fun. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. It's like going to work and have half the people that you work with just basically spit in your face, pretty much. So see how long you'd go to work if half the people that every time you went to work spit in your face and flipped you off and called you names and shouted at you and threatened your family, all that kind of stuff. So that's what it's kind of like, So but if you say that wouldn't affect you, then you're not being real. People say, "Oh, don't let it affect you," and yeah, and most part I don't. And, I move on and everything. But if you say that shouldn't affect me, and then you'd say you think it wouldn't affect you if you did this every day, then you got another thing coming. I mean, really. I mean, just think about the other person and what they're going through, really, and have some compassion for that. And don't be a part of it. I mean, seriously. I mean, you got nothing better to do than give someone a hard time? Is that Christian at all in any way, shape, matter, form? Is that anything Jesus has ever said anywhere in the Bible? Nope, not even close. So you're completely going against everything Jesus and truth and love stands for by criticizing people in any way. So why do it? Are you that dense and that wounded that you can't do anything else? I mean, that's just sad. So here we go. So another thing he's showing me made it so super clear about this flag. And so this is like a thing with the elite. It's a go, it's bad. That's what Zelen-skyyy means. Saying it that way, of course. It also means incredibly good because it's about to happen. It's the harvest. Look at that. That's crazy. I love it. I love it. And then look, here it is. Revelation 14:14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. So that's his return, not a second coming, his return, and he's going to grab the ones that are white for harvest, the faithful who had exchanged their garments for white garments by faith, not by any other means. And that's what it says in Revelation 2 and 3 about the churches. They are faithful, and they've exchanged. And he said that about the unfaithful church, and that they wouldn't, or for example, what is it? the last one, the Laodicean church. The Laodiceans, he said, buy from me these things, salve for your eyes, clothes for your body, because you're naked and blind in the dark, basically. Okay. And it means hang out with me, get to know me, be with me, because he told the unwise virgins, and he told other people who did miracles in his name, you did not know me. You did not know me. And that's the litmus test to, moving on with him. And that's the litmus test for what's coming as far as leaving here and coming back to fight. And that's the litmus test for other things. Did you make him your master and not just your savior? Okay. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Woohoo! Thank you. I want to thank you. He can do the kick up in the sky, so I'm going to do the same thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Again, if you're able to give, I appreciate it. I got a link in the description box below for PayPal. Also, P.O. Box, and also Zelle Pay is really great. It's what PayPal should be. It doesn't cost anything for either party, and you sign up with ZellePay.com for free. It's awesome. So anyway, just want to let you know about that, and then we'll see what happens. Again, I've predicted several things that have happened in the past, and definitely hundreds of symbols of things on the exact days. People say, oh, nothing's ever happened. That is such a lie from hell, I can't even tell you. That is not true. Anybody who knows my stuff knows I've actually predicted when certain variants came out, certain things, a lot of things. So anyway, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm showing you what they're doing. I'm doing my best to show you that. Now, again, I'm saying this probably won't happen, but if it does, then you know this system and how to expose them works. Okay, and what the Lord's showing me, you know that Jesus is getting through to people, and he's showing me how their system works. And if I'm able to do that, then you know Jesus is really speaking and he's really showing things. So that's as simple as that. Simple as that. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to people who actually have some kind of sanity and are somewhat of some decency in their hearts. So if you don't have that, and if you throw a bunch of funky comments, I mean, they're gone in 2 seconds. So I mean, just go ahead and waste your time with big, long, silly comments that don't make any sense and that are, super rudimentary and mean and everything like that. They'll just be gone. So it's like, just don't bother. Go find someone else to waste your time with. So thank you so much for everybody that supports, everybody who's praying for me and my family. And if you're able to give, I so appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And everyone who has, thank you so much. It just means so much. And I also want to thank Timothy as well. Timothy, thank you so much for especially this latest time frame, and how we've had this crazy synergy lately with what you've been seeing, I'm seeing, and my other brother and people in the Telegram. It's been awesome as well. So I just thank so many people. It just means so much to me to have this support. Along with all the other naysayers, and it helps to more than balance out the real negative crud, because I've gotten it for so long, and I'm looking forward for every single critic to be silenced. That's going to be a wonderful day. But even more than that, I just want to be with Jesus. That's it. And then I want to come back, and we're going to fight, and I'm going to take it to the enemy as much as Jesus will let me. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. This is Exalted Lamb 1. God bless you. Over and out.